Woosah, people. The day we've all been waiting for. Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I've been waiting on this for a while now.
No, I've been
Um,
anticipating.
this is going to be one of those that will either earn us a few followers or a mass amount of trolls. I'm
A lot of
assuming the
hate,
trolls
yeah.
will happen either way, but
Either way, we don't care.
we don't
Yeah.
care.
We don't.
We do not
Secondarily,
care.
I want to make something abundantly clear to to people out there, okay? At least from my side of things. I am not like Bro, and I'm not like Coy, and I'm not like Lee. Um, I don't have to, nor do I feel it necessary to respect everybody equally. That has never been my MO. I don't care what your history is. I don't care
Mhm.
what you've done. I don't care who you are. Your earning my respect is just that. Earn it. Not because of your title, not because of what you might have done or not done. I don't give two flying flips about that.
Right.
If you're an idiot, I'll call you that. If you're a commie, I'm gonna call you that. If you're nonsensical and stupid, I'm gonna call you that too. I don't care how
Mhm.
many ribbons you got around the old oak tree or how many folded flags you got in your family. I don't give two damns about that. If you're an idiot, that's what I'm gonna call you. And in this instance, there are gonna be quite a few clowns that I'm gonna be clowning. So, with that being said, again, this is only my perspective on what we're going to talk about.
Mm.
Everybody else got their own. So, if you hear me talking, I'm speaking for me. I want to make sure I made that abundantly clear so y'all don't conflate me with the rest of the people on the screen here who
But
have served.
Marlon, does that make the rest of us ableist? Write that
Yes.
word down.
We're
Because
ableist.
they will use that word, ableist. We're just getting the words out now
We're
for
just-
you guys, you know.
Honestly, what I feel like we're gonna do is just air out some of the dirty laundry in the veteran community.
Yes.
Part
that's,
of it.
That's really what it comes down to. Is like
Part
looking
of
at these
it.
people like there's some embellishments going on that need to be addressed. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So,
Mainly, we're going to air out the fact that we got commies going around claiming the title of veteran and shaming other veterans for not believing in what they believe in.
Yeah.
right.
So I have a question.
Yes.
When that happens, why do we have to respect them?
You don't.
That's a good question.
Well, that's kind of the dirty secret of the whole thing. Is like not everybody agrees with each other, and you don't have to respect somebody just because of their service.
Facts.
Right, but the whole notion, and this is a jab to the right because I have to call out people on my team. Why is it that whenever we hear the word "I'm a veteran," but they espouse anti-American rhetoric, anti-constitutional rhetoric, in which they've gone into a service to protect those rights, but then they come back around and they spit on the very thing that they're protecting. Like, why am I entitled to? Why am I being placated to respect individuals like that?
Because they're a
Well, it's
protected
because
class.
You don't have
because
to.
it's been seen as a patriotic thing to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
you have to remember, though, that patriotic thing to do was happening at a time when patriotism was real. Not what it is and has become over the last 15, 20 years. The last 15, 20 years, a lot of communists have joined the military, had no intention of actually defending the freedoms of the military, but want all the benefits of the military, which is all the people we're going to talk about today. Every stinking last one of them joined the military, whether they saw combat or not. They joined the military for the effects of the military in civilian life and for the benefits after they retired. Because once you see them in public light after military, all they espouse is anti-American rhetoric. And for that, I have no respect for you or the service you put in. I may respect the military, but not you as a serviceman. I will never respect you. There is nothing about you respectable. You could have held as many guns as you want, worn as many you could have lost limbs. I don't give two craps about whether you've lost limbs. Folded flags and all. Don't give a damn. You are a commie. You fought for your own self-interest and you did not fight for the country. And then you come back to try and undo everything that made America America. You need to leave. Or rejoin the army and join the rest of the people that should have been 6 foot under. I will say it, and I don't care. That's what you're worth to me. Nothing. If you are going to even, one of the guys that we're going to talk about is so ridiculous. He doesn't even want his child saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school. So-called former vet. If that's your mindset, why are you here? That's my biggest question. Why are you in America? Why are you an American to begin with? Why? You don't hold any of the values America has. You don't give two damns about America. You want to and transform this country into some kind of ideological wasteland of communism. Tell you what, though, it's not going to happen. And I don't care if you think I'm a civilian or I shouldn't say it. I will say whatever the hell I want. First Amendment. Get over yourself. You're not that important.
That the monkey fought to protect.
Yeah.
So first things. Here is, now we have some arguments going on TikTok right now between a few of them about how somebody gets a DD-214 and my military record and my military is a military. Now the whole fight is how do you acquire it? And we're going to kind of break that down. So Coy, first, I want you to explain to the people what it could possibly take to acquire a DD-214.
Well, the first things first is that normally if you want to get like an actual DD-214, you need to be next of kin or you need to be the veteran yourself. You can't just get a DD-214 without being next of kin or the veteran. But there are a balance between that, which is what is in this information, which says the general public can access that information, but it's limited. It can be done through FOIA requests and others, but it takes a little bit of work. It can be done, it can be received, but it's going to be limited information. It's not clear how limited that information is, but it's definitely going to show what their service was and what their rewards were.
So they need permission. Is that true?
Yeah.
From the vet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would be their service record
Perfect.
To a limited form. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, the information that was leaked on TikTok, they are coming forward saying that someone illegally acquired the DD-214. Now, to illegally do that, I would assume that you have to have certain bits of information about the person you're trying to get it from and about. But secondarily, if you are one of those people that is assuming that your DD-214 was illegally acquired, why have you not yet filed legal paperwork instead of threatening it?
Yeah.
I mean, you said you know for a fact it's illegally gained. So if it's illegally gained and you have this much clout and you have this much ability, why not just go ahead? It's an open and shut case as far as I'm concerned. If you know you have all the information, why not just call the person out legally and have them arrested?
Because it would be identity theft and fraud.
Yes.
Yep.
Something tells me, though, that's probably not what happened. Something tells me if you're complaining, you're probably the one that dropped it.
Yeah, and you're right, Marlon. If that was to happen to anyone, whether it's a DD-214, Social Security card, birth certificate, it doesn't matter. Identity theft. If that happened to me and I saw my DD-214 flashed all over the interwebs, first thing I would do, I would get a hold of the VA or the National Archives and find out who requested my DD-214 and who did you give it to. They keep record of all of that stuff. If they send it out, they have to put in their system who they sent that document to and why they sent it. So all this mumble jumble felony and all this tough talk online, it's all bull crap because you can easily find out who did it.
And according to older millennials' own words, he got it from a screen grab on TikTok itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like if we're talking about somebody, I don't know, let's say somebody did get it. More than likely, it was somebody closer to you than it was to anybody else. They would have to have personal identifying information that they would already have to have, put a request in, and the archives would still have that paper trail showing who requested it and who got it. Unless they broke into your house and stole it, which that is absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Exactly.
So I think people are not in the chat are not familiar with who older millennial and the whole situation.
Oh,
so
that's
can
what
we
we're
bring
getting to
everybody
right
up to
now.
speed?
Yeah. We are about to climb into that ship.
We're
right
just
now.
doing the preface here. We're saying here's part of the arguments that they're making. Here's the reason why it's not going to work. But here are the people that are saying it.
Yeah. Now, some time ago, if you guys have followed us for a while, we've covered three of these people before already, but two in detail. One was Snaggletooth himself, who went after Charlie Kirk. Y'all remember him, right? He's a vet. And I'm using the term vet very, very, very loosely. Not in the respectable term of vet, but in the most disrespectful way I can possibly use the word vet. I'm ascribing that title of vet to these clowns. The other one was a guy by the name of Thomas. McCormick is his actual real last name.
Oh.
And that's not doxing. He gave that out like an idiot himself years ago. So Thomas McCormick, bald black dude, looks like a real clown, like he has mental problems, and he does have mental problems. And I will continue to say, get your mental problems checked. It is not a flex. You being mentally off after the military should be something that you should be staying in a corner with your therapist with, and on meds for. Not bragging about it, Tommy. Not bragging. And then finally, older millennial. He has one of the bigger followings on there.
Oh,
and he has been in this kind of a fight, a tiff, if you will, with them over, yes, the Black Nails guy. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's the one that's been in back and forth with these people because they cannot stand the fact that he has what I would call a larger proportion of his brain being used than they do. That's really what they're mad about. So now that you have the soap opera in front of you, we're about to dive into what Ginger would call the tea, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah.
Or your grandmother would call her stories because these are the days of our lives.
Oh, is it?
You're welcome.
Very good segue. I like that one. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of
I used to love that show.
That was me too, man. My mom watched it. I used to get, now it's all in my head now. See now.
Yeah, you're welcome. So just think of this as like daytime TV drama, man. That's what it is.
Young and Restless. Here we go.
Yep.
Now this is Ginger's call to action for veterans. Now, he also is one that will dog veterans who don't agree with him. So I'm not sure which veterans he's calling to. So even in their world where they don't like being called out by being non-veterans or clowns, they call people in their own field that they disagree with the same thing. So that's why I'm not feeling bad about what I'm about to say about these people. Okay, I'll just be sure. Here you go. This is his call for action.
Are you a veteran? Then this video is for you. Call in. We got a mission, and this is your mission brief. Tomorrow, Sunday, 28 July at 1600 hours, there will be a Veterans for Harris Zoom call.
Now, let me ask a question of the two people on the screen here that have been in the military.
Yeah.
Is this how you all call each other up?
No, it's definitely not. This
is all fanfare.
Yeah, this is all theater, falling, and all this other stuff.
That's the guy that got out of the first sergeant and never got over being first sergeant.
That's the guy who just can't let it go. That ship has sailed. That ship is gone. It's halfway across the ocean. It's gone. You waved to it years ago. Let it go.
All will be hosted by Common Defense. We'll be joined by Governor Wes Moore of Maryland and many other speakers to include myself. And we will be raising money.
And many other speakers to include myself? Jolly, look, English isn't your strong suit. You might know Korean, but maybe you should have spent that much more time on your own native language so you can actually speak properly. That would be helpful.
You know what's worse than this is that, remember the guy before they came onto our live, when we were talking about Jolly and said what he was a human intelligence guy. I'm just imagining him in another room with a guy trying to interrogate him, and it sounds like an SNL skit in my head.
Where is he?
Like he's played by Bob Farley. That's who I'm thinking is doing it.
Who's that guy?
Peter, laying down by the river.
He's a comedian. Peter. He does the Batman impersonation, and he's That's what it would end up being like, just like that.
For Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential election campaign. We've all answered our country's call before, whether it be Afghanistan or Iraq, Kuwait, Bosnia, Kosovo, Korea, Vietnam, or the many other places around the world where we have been deployed. Well, this time, the call is literally coming from inside the house. Fascism is knocking on our front door. And
you are it, you fool. You are the fascist.
These people don't even know what the word means.
This is how stupid you are, Ginger. You're the most stupid human being on earth. And I've met some dumb individuals. I have met people with only a half of their brain functioning, and you're more stupid than they are. You are the person you're talking about. You're the commie. You're the fascist.
Yep.
Do you not get that yet? Golly, bro. Speak for yourself. You're talking about yourself.
Mhm.
This guy can't be. Yeah, well, I'm saying he can't be this slow, but he is.
I would imagine some of these people would have been defectors during the Cold War.
Oh, man.
Just pointing that out.
You know who would Jolly would be? You remember that movie Red Dawn?
Yeah.
So you remember one of the let's say the second one. I mean, yeah, the second one. Remember the friend that ended up joining the Koreans or Chinese, whatever force that was there?
Okay, we got to specify which movie you're talking about. We're talking about the 80s movie or the recent movie?
I said the new one.
Okay.
You remember? So remember the friend that after he took the gun from him and he pushed him on the ground, he ran off and joined the enemy forces, and they ended up blowing him up. And that would be Jolly.
Yeah. Okay.
He would turn code.
You wouldn't have to threaten Jolly with anything.
Yeah, he's
just promise him some sugar and he'll defect. Or probably some meth. Judging by his teeth, he probably just got to offer him meth.
Oof.
But it can't really be meth because of how obese he is. So it's probably donuts. It's probably donuts.
Is his beard, is that white or is that cigarette stained?
Yes.
I would say it's something else, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Gross.
Okay.
If Donald Trump gets elected in November, just like he said yesterday, there won't be another election. Get out and vote.
Oh my gosh. How
I'm tired, man.
This is
it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians.
So now we have to step up and answer the call again.
No, you need to step up and shut up because you don't know how to read a room, and you don't know how to listen.
This level of remediality from people like him are why the internet makes him famous.
This is what they've been doing this for 8 years, man. Like at this point, do people really believe all of the out of context clips of Donald Trump? Like honestly, anytime you listen to any of these clips and you actually look at the video, none of it is true. Not a single one of them are true. Oh, you're not going to have to vote anymore. The bloodbath is going to be terrible. Like all of these, or the fine people hoax, all of this stuff has always been lies. Every single one of them have been lies.
Yep.
And I'm tired of it. I really am.
You ask how they can keep doing it because, as you just said, Lee, they're remedial, just like this fool. Mm-hmm. Now, he went in and he said he was a linguist. And he learned Korean. I wonder why that particular one. Anyway, I'll let y'all figure that one out. But you still cannot master what anything in English means. You're calling Donald Trump a fascist. You're calling people on the right the fascist, not realizing that every move you make and request you make of people is fascistic in its own makeup.
Mm-hmm. And I've said this before. I wish Donald Trump would be the Donald Trump the left thinks he is.
Yeah.
Like honestly, because I know he's never going to do even a quarter, even half the things that these people want, like I suspect he would do. Like it would be for the best of the country if he did basically all the things that they fear from him, right? Almost all of them. Maybe not be a dictator, obviously. Nobody wants that. I'm just saying maybe cleaning house and getting rid of all the corruption in the United States would be a good thing. But these people are defending corruption. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Monkeys.
Go here and click here. This is an all hands on deck call. You have your marching orders. Tomorrow, 1600 hours. Be there. Call out.
It's like a parody. It's like a parody.
The cringe is so strong with that dude, man. All out.
1600 hours. Fall out. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here.
I don't know if I was a military guy and I saw that coming from a self-aggrandizing TikTok famous clown like that, I would be offended.
Why am I forgetting the name of the movie? Damon Wayans playing the drill Major Payne. Right. That's the movie. That's what I'm thinking.
You don't know nothing, young boy.
For us military guys that kind of let it go. I can speak for myself. I let it go. Yeah. I have no part of that. Just pay me my check every month and now I'm good. That was so cringy to me because who in their right mind gets on the interwebs with a straight face that says fall in, and you've been out the military looking at you this close to diabetes, but
his voice is even strong enough to say fall in.
He ain't been a drill sergeant. That's why his vocals ain't trained. You know, I was a drill sergeant. I say that much. You know.
Yeah, when you see a drill sergeant or drill instructor, the kind of guys that they are, and their voices are a certain way because they've been yelling for so damn long that they can't. Their vocal cords are destroyed. You know.
That is true.
Now, remember what he said in that last video, right? He's fighting fascists, right? He's calling all veterans. That's what he said, right? All veterans?
Yes.
He said all, right?
All.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Now, remember that. Remember that's what he said. All.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I like this question. It's a topic that should be more openly discussed more often.
So let's see what the question, the topic was. Unrelated. As a veteran, what are your thoughts about people thanking vets and active members for their service?
As a veteran.
This is where it's going to get cringeworthy. And you're going to see him make a little bit of a faux pas in his reasoning. Here we go.
I like this question. It's a topic that should be more openly discussed more often. As a veteran myself, I don't particularly want anybody to thank me for my service.
Wait, hey, Marlon, real fast. So he doesn't want anyone to thank him for his service while wearing "I'm a veteran" hat in his videos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
do you see my problem here?
That makes no sense.
I mean, I'm gonna hear the rest of it out before I give my answer, but there are particular answers to this question.
Yeah, I'm guaranteeing he will not give you one of those.
Okay.
I did not serve this country for any self-glorifying reason, so I don't want anyone to thank me. And I believe most veterans feel the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand why the general public does it, and it's much better than how our Vietnam veterans were treated when they were spit on and yelled at and basically thrown out in the streets. So given the juxtaposition, I would choose the...
It was the anti-war hippies, right?
The same side that he's defending.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, aren't they the ones that did? So that's basically his team.
Yeah,
that did that.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that y'all called it before I had to say anything. Okay, good. Let him finish off. He may make more sense. He may make more sense. Okay, yeah.
Latter than the former. However, I'm completely fine with nobody thanking me for my service. Honestly, when someone says that, it puts you in this awkward position. I don't really know what to say. Like, I know why you're saying it, but I did not do it for any gratitude. I guess, in short, if you want to do that, you can do that. But I guarantee you most veterans are completely okay with us passing up on that, what is now societal norm.
Go ahead, Coy.
Like I said earlier, it's one of those things of like, to clarify, some veterans enjoy the shit out of being thanked for their service. Some of them do. Others feel awkward, and others just don't want to hear about it because they don't want to think about it. There's different people for different persuasions of life. Me personally, it makes me feel awkward sometimes because I feel like I didn't do enough for any of those things. Like, it's just an imposter syndrome type thing coming in with me. There are other people who are narcissists who love that shit and will eat it up every single time. And they want you to say, thank you for my service. And those are awful people.
And you're going to see them now.
So, but in the case of Snaggletooth here, for him to deflect, is that some sort of a false act of humility on his end? Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy is calculated.
Yeah, I was gonna say so because the way he comes off, even in this video, it just is like, no, don't thank me, guys. I'm a veteran. I don't need this kind of thing. It's like, dude, your projection of humility is so, what's the word?
Fake.
Yeah.
It is
Now,
fake.
if you remember the video we saw just before that one, if you really thought that way, one, here's what you wouldn't do: put on the hat, put on the shirt, put on the accent, put on the game, the face, all of that crap. You wouldn't need to do all that if you weren't trying to have people respect you for what you did.
Yeah.
You see, what you're looking for is clout, Jolly. You know full well you're using your uniform for clout, for accolades, for views. If you did actually feel the way you felt in that last video of I don't need thanks, you would never, ever, 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 ever do a video like that. You wouldn't. You wouldn't find the time to. You wouldn't need to, because if you did, all you'd have to do is tell everybody we have this event, and if you're a vet, please show up. That's all you'd have to do. No, you made it fanfare because you know full well that exact same thing you're trying to shy away from is exactly what you want them. And by using this whole "I don't do it," you're waiting for them to do it so you can say, "Oh well, since you're going to, I'm not going to stop you."
Yeah, you're welcome for my service.
Don't forget that I did this, and this too, when you're clapping. Okay, but I mean, don't tell me. I mean, but no, but go ahead and tell me. You're a girl.
Which is funny. Like he's saying that, hey, at least they weren't spit on. Is like a lot of the people that exist that are old as shit in Congress right now are the people that were spitting on the vets during Vietnam.
He's one,
or that are in academia or any of these other places.
Yeah,
he's the type of guy that he says all this right now, but he'll be the first one in line at Applebee's on Veterans Day to get his free meal. Guaranteed. 100%.
The Democrats still celebrate Jane Fonda. Like one of the worst people that spat on vets, Jane Fonda, is celebrated in the Democratic Party, the party that you're defending.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, he was probably on kitchen duty, clean up and cooking. Now, this is also one of the people that now here it is, right? Here it is. They don't want the accolade. They don't want the praise. But the first thing they flaunt in your face is that he was never a Tuskegee Airman, by the way. So tell me it's not about just photo ops and optics. They don't have two cares about the military itself or what the military defends. They do not care about that.
Yep,
right. They all entered this for one reason and one reason only: the accolade of having been in there. They know what it entails. None of them, for all of their military life, all of them look like they've never touched the military because they all let themselves go. Why? Because they probably never did anything worthwhile to begin with.
Yeah.
I gotta, Mike, I gotta ask you a question. Would you feel awkward wearing your cover like that with a beard? Because like I would, if I put it on right now like that, I would feel weird.
Dude, I wouldn't even wear it.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of my military stuff, but all that stuff's in my garage and
I got it. Mine too.
I don't look at it. I don't go and reminisce over it. It's locked away. So he's doing this strictly for it's a flex to him. Views. Yeah. Look, I was a Master Sergeant E8 in the Army. I'm wearing my PC. That you look horrible and you need a better job at shaping that thing. But it's all a flex. It's all for clout. Look at me. And then he wants people, like Marlon stated with Ginger, to come in and actually say, "Oh, thank you for your service."
You finally showed up. Don't worry, we have your video too. We'll get to you. Don't worry, we'll get to you. Be patient, and trust me, we will get to you. We have your video ready too. I know you're itching to get into the spotlight and you want to be like the big dogs, but hey, slow your roll. Your time will come. Don't worry about it. But here's what I'm going to thank you for. Thank you for bringing your view to our platform. Every view counts. We thank you. And the more you interact, which is what I'm going to make sure you do, the more you type in. In fact, I encourage you to spam this for me. Keep spamming that. Keep spamming it. And the more you do, you know what that does to the algorithm? Boosts it. You know what YouTube sees that as? Interaction. And you know what interaction does? It gives our videos views. Yeah. You know what the views do? Pay us. So thank you for being my little bee. You're paying me.
No, you are
my streetwalker, and I'm your pimp right now. I just want you to know that. Okay? All right.
Marlon, it just shows the level of intelligence of the people that we're talking about. Because the first thing he does when he comes in here is just spam nonsense.
I hope he does. That makes us his pimp.
Because monkeys like that are used to TikTok. So they do the same thing that they do on TikTok because they have the intelligence of a freaking gnat. You know, he comes in, nothing intelligent to say, nothing to post that's worth seeing, and he does this. He thinks it's TikTok, and it's not. We will drag your fat ass on this.
And not only that, you can't report this.
Nope.
You got nobody to report this to. Like nobody.
Yeah.
You are helpless here. You're in our territory now.
Ain't nothing
and you are making us money. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Marlon, this dude is so stupid. You can't put threatening language on the internet and it be okay, man.
It stays up, you dummy.
So let me put this up so everyone knows that he wants to kill people.
Everyone screenshot that.
Okay, because at the end of this one, we also will be doing an FBI report on Big D Man. Okay, because I also have him on TikTok, so I know what his face looks like. The instant I know what his face looks like, I can find his Facebook. When I find his Facebook, I'll find his name. When I find his name, I'll have him reported to the FBI for death threats.
And we've done that before, just so you know.
Oh,
we've
by
done
the way,
it live.
Seeing as how you might be a vet, they can chalk this up to, you know what, mental issues, and they could easily put you in an asylum.
5150.
But thank you, man. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And anyway, I'm going to make sure we read this out. Bang, bang, down goes the MAGA rapist pedophile.
Pew, pew.
Hey, more power to you. But let's continue. Yeah. You keep making sure you spam the chats, because we are, like I said, it's helping our algorithm boost.
Yeah, just ignore him.
No. I'm not going to ignore him.
I mean, to the chat, just ignore him. He'll say
let
what he's
him
going to
keep
say.
Talking. Don't, whatever you do, don't even reply to him, but let him keep talking. This is good stuff. Well, continue, Army Overlord.
Y'all, I had to redo this video like 4 times because I was completely out of character, because I am infuriated right now. So some of you may have seen older millennial has obtained a copy of Jolly Good Ginger's DD-214. And I know that because I have your DD. Let me be abundantly clear. There are only 2 ways you can get a copy of a DD-214.
Okay, tell me.
You are either the veteran yourself,
right,
or you are next of kin of a deceased veteran.
Good. I'm glad you said that. So if those are only 2 ways to get it, maybe answer your own question. How did Joe get it?
Yeah.
If you're blaming him for getting it, how did Joe get it? If the only 2 ways, by your own words, because you're so intelligent, the only 2 ways to get it are the ways you said, and he's neither one of those, how did he get it?
Do these people think that far ahead, though?
No, they don't. Because as we already explained in the early part of the show, you can request this information. It just might take a while, and you're going to get limited information, but you can't get that information. But here's the thing, is like, let's take it down the logical path that they're laying out. You have to be the veteran themselves or the next of kin. So you're claiming that older millennial obtained his information unlawfully, then sent that information to the archives unlawfully, got the information unlawfully. So therefore, you should be able to file a report of that unlawful behavior and get it taken care of.
Yeah.
But they're not.
I wonder why.
Because they're not.
Because they're stupid.
Hey, you know, there you go.
Really stupid.
Meaning, you obtained those documents legally because it's not public information, which means you have just opened yourself up to a felony for either falsifying documents in order to obtain that DD-214,
right?
Or you know somebody that has access to those DOD systems. Now
let me
there
ask
would be a trail.
The easiest way for these fools to get to the bottom of this is to have Jolly use his intelligence and call the office and say, I need to know who was the last person you issued my DD-214s to. That's all you have to do. It's that stinking simple. It really is, Jolly. And trust me, if that's all it took and you haven't done it yet, then our speculations might be true, that you are the one that attained it and put it on the internet for everybody to see, just to blame somebody else when it does pop up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe she'll make more sense. Usually they don't, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
in the case of you having a friend that has access to DoD systems, that means that they have to log in with their CAC card, which is a card much like credit cards that have a chip in it, but that's our military ID, right? That's how you log into computer systems with the military. With that said, that friend has now left a digital footprint.
Then find the footprint, you fool!
Wait a minute. Hold on. So,
how is this difficult?
Oh my God.
It's been a full week and a half. A full week and a half, and you half-brained idiots have yet to go and do that?
Yeah. I mean, that would be the easiest video for Jolly to make, is saying that I have reached out to them and to find out this information, and then I'm filing a report that needs to be investigated. But he hasn't done any of that.
We know why. We know what.
It's not like it's like a hard thing to do. Like we know, okay, you think he did it falsely, he did it illegally, so report it.
Yeah, anybody with common sense, and we talked about it earlier. If your information got out on the interwebs and you saw your name, DD214, whatever document floating around, first you would call wherever that document came from. You would get down to it. You would file a report. Then you would get a name who it got sent to, and that's how you fix it. But they haven't done it, so that's telling us that OM didn't do it.
Yep.
What was that word again, bro?
OM?
No.
Didn't do
what
it?
You said? What you said initially? If you had
Follow.
the what?
Tell
Starts
me.
with a C. Common sense.
Oh,
Common
yeah.
sense,
Common, yeah.
They don't have that.
Yeah.
You have to have common sense in order to use it, right?
Yeah. It's pretty obvious.
None of their sense is common. It's common to stupid people.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Now, let's see if she can follow her own trail to advise Jolly to do what she just said we could do, to follow the trail. Let's see if that happens.
On exactly when they access that record. So all Jolly needs to do
Yes.
is go to the Inspector General.
Mm.
All Jolly needs to do is file a congressional complaint against your ass.
Yes, that's all you have to
Guess
do.
what, dummy? You just opened yourself up to lawsuits and all kind of criminal legal action.
Okay, good.
And I hope he gives you everything
Good.
that's coming to you. And oh, by the
Yes.
way, our DD-214s have our names and information on it, but that is a government document. Those documents belong to the government.
Oh,
So you just delete.
so hold on. They belong to the government, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this, you people that belong to Jolly. The instant you found us out, shouldn't you go straight to said government to get to the bottom of it before making your first video?
Yeah.
you would think.
Okay, it's like this. I found out that my bank account got hacked. And I decide I'm going to go on TikTok and announce that my bank got hacked. And then I'm going to make other people make videos about hackers who hack bank accounts. And then a week later, I haven't called the bank yet. My bank account is still hacked. And I say, man, you know, people that hack bank accounts are really horrible. And I think I know who might be behind the hacking of the bank account. And I go on this whole rabbit trail to go after one person I thought might going. Meanwhile, my bank account is still sitting there hacked.
Yeah.
That's how stupid Jolly is. That's how stupid this union gang clown is. That's how stupid all these people are going to show you are. They talk because what they're looking for is clout. None of this happened. None of it. None of it.
It's like I said, it's one of those points of like, if this is all true, then why wasn't that the first thing you did? Like if somebody steals your credit card, the first thing you do is call your credit card company and turn it off, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
So like if somebody stole your DD-214, you would think that the first thing you would do would call the archives and find out, hey, how did they get this information?
Again, common sense, not so common.
Legally obtain a document from the United States federal government. And also, you're a civilian that's never served a day in your life, and you don't even know what you're reading. If you look at his awards,
Is he a civilian?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought too. But hey,
It's just an assumption.
you know what they do though? If you're not a vet like them, you're a civilian.
Yeah.
he served in Afghanistan. He served in Iraq. You don't even know what those devices on those medals mean.
So wait, why are you reading his DD-214? Isn't that illegal to watch if you are not given permission? Why are you reading it?
Yeah.
The instant you saw that it was, you should just shut off the screen. I don't want to see that. That's not mine. That's not my information. It's kind of weird. Okay.
But you think you read something and you want to talk about him not having a combat action badge. You realize the war started in 2001 and the combat action badge was not authorized until May 2nd of 2005, meaning those of us that saw combat, like myself, like my husband, before that award was authorized, in order for us to get that award, we had to go track down everybody that was with us in that unit, people that have gotten out the Army, people that are no longer living, to try to get sworn statements to validate the fact that we were in combat.
You couldn't get that from your sergeant? Hey, look, I'm just saying, you have to deploy, and I'm going to ask this, I'm going to defer this to the two people on the screen. I'm going to take this down just for a second. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with people here. I might be the dumbest person on this panel. Okay. If you are part of the military and there are zones that you have to be deployed into that is volatile, Do you guys log that?
Yes.
Whether you assign something as what you've done, do you log it?
Keep logs of things that we do in a combat zone.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
And do you have a trail that you can go back to your supervisors and say, this is what the zone you were deployed to?
Yeah. So every single, we call it a tick, or troops in contact. Every time troops in contact happens, the TOC is listening to everything. So the TOC is pretty much the higher command that controls everything that we're doing. We report to them. So the minute you get on the radio and you say troops in contact, they immediately start up a report. When you come back from your mission, you have to write a report, which gets sent all the way up the chain, all the way up. So it's kept way up there. So they have records of all this stuff.
Okay, so here's something I don't understand. Okay, so what were they using to determine whether you'd been in combat before the combat action badge in the Army then?
Probably what you call it, abacus. I don't know. I mean, I guess you couldn't do anything.
Well, that's why I was asking Michael, like, what were they doing before then?
So it's still a sworn statement. So even when we come back, you still have to do a sworn statement of everything, some type of statement of what happened. So whether or not the combat action badge existed or not, if they was in some type of contact when they went outside that wire before the combat action badge, they would still come back and write a report on it. So even though the badge didn't exist, there was still documentation saying that happened. And everyone that was in that contact would have to write the report.
Yeah,
so
and
kept records of it.
Yeah, and the equivalent is the combat action ribbon for the Marines. You have to have, as you said, statements, paperwork showing that you were actually in a combat operation that saw fire, indirect fire, whatever it may be.
She's talking only about a 4-year difference.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, I get it would be a pain in the ass to have to get all the sworn statements, but it's possible to do.
If it was something that you want to brag about.
Yeah, I mean, he could still probably get it today if he really wanted to.
No, but he can't because he was only talking.
And the thing is, it's not as hard as what people think. So by the time the combat action badge came out, everyone that took contact before the combat action badge got that MILPER message. They all got it, right? So at that time, it was put out, if you saw combat, we need sworn statements of the time he was there. I think it's like 2 to 3. I forget how many sworn statements you need. And they all would have put it out. Everyone that was in that unit would have all sent that sworn statement at the same time at that combat, including the commander, including the sergeant major, including the first sergeant. Everyone that was involved in that unit during those combat operations would have put in a sworn statement. They would have retrograded it. Everyone that was involved would have got their reward. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and again, what they're doing is trying to lay some groundwork for you to think that what they're speaking on is such a monumental thing that no one can do that. And secondarily, that this is such a big deal and you should have never done it. Meanwhile, you won't go and do the very same thing that you say Jolly should do. Jolly's not doing it. So what does that have to? What are we supposed to think? You released it.
And everybody here knows. His whole team knows too.
Yes,
they released it. So
nobody was doing it. Again, I say again, a DD-214 is not a public record. You can't go Google it.
No one said he did.
I hope you enjoy that time. You done really stepped in and now, boy.
No, he hasn't stepped in anything at all. I don't know what exactly you think someone stepped in, but. You people are some of the most remedial fools ever. Like literally the most remedial fools ever.
And Marlon, I wanted to bring this up just because I want people to have an understanding of what kind of criteria that we're looking at. This is the clarification of combat action ribbon eligibility criteria. This is coming from the Marines. This is what they say under the definition that you have to have happened in order to be eligible. The 2 eligibility criteria for the CAR are: an individual must have participated in a bona fide ground or service combat firefight or action during which he or she was under enemy fire, or his or her performance while under fire was satisfactory.
Yeah, same in the Army. They're all the same.
Yeah, but
except for the cab. The cab is a little different. So the cab is either direct fire, or if you're taking some type of indirect fire, you can qualify for it.
This is where it goes into it more. The evolution of warfare is that has occurred during combat operations in Afghanistan and Iraq, especially in regards to threat posed by improvised explosive devices, causes consideration to be given to eligibility for the car. So we're talking about with IEDs and all these other things, those are also included. This is the legitimate definition you go by when you call somebody a combat veteran who has received a combat action badge or a combat action ribbon, is they have to have seen, as it said, what was it? Bona fide. Bona fide.
Yep.
Bona fide. So like that's the definition of a combat veteran. Not somebody who was deployed to a combat zone, but a actual combat veteran. That's the definition.
I agree.
Now we have Jolly and the bald bearded fool out the way. We go to the other ones, and you'll see they're just, mind you, they're all just as stupid. I'm not saying anyone's more stupid than, well, maybe Jolly might be the top. Jolly would be the most stupid, and I think, yeah, he would think he'd be the most stupid. I think Jolly would be the most stupid. Thomas would be the most mentally ill, because he's bragged about being mentally ill. Union Gang is just one of those people that likes to be braggadocious and thinks he knows a whole lot but doesn't know anything.
But that's like still stupid.
Yeah, but Jolly is like over the top stupid. Like,
I'm not saying that Jolly's not. I'm just saying that
he's taken stupid and like created a whole Olympic game out of it.
Yeah,
wrong that I couldn't miss the opportunity to shit on him for it. Without further ado, let me go ahead and show you what he said.
Now, mind you, this is the older millennial who they're accusing of having said DD 214 and spilled it. He's the one they say has done the illegal thing.
Oh, and don't worry, I'm going to put him on 2x speed so we don't have to hear all the dramatic pauses.
We've been asking, where's your DD 214? Because we all know that you got out in 2003.
Got out in...
He didn't get out in 2003. He entered in 2003. That's when he began his military time, was in 2003. Okay, so I want people to understand that even when they try to get people in a gotcha moment, they don't got nothing.
Nope.
It's like I said, like
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Marlon. Sorry.
Here is the culmination of the interaction between the two.
So little Timmy here wanted to go for strike 3, and yes, he brought the dramatic music.
It's Thomas Joseph. It's Thomas, not Timmy. I don't know who the fuck Timmy is.
If you can't get the joke, Timmy, then that's on you. He's not equating Timmy to your name. You're Timmy because you're a child, and he's treating you like one, Timmy. You know, when Timmy get in the corner, Timmy gets no more food, Timmy's an idiot. That would be you, Tom. Timmy. But again, y'all don't know how these things work. So everybody has to explain. You're like the one fool at a party that everyone has to explain a joke to.
Yeah.
Like it becomes tiring, Timmy.
How old is Timmy?
Timmy is older than me, I think.
It just hurts at this point. Like,
yeah.
Timmy, live long, Timmy.
Yes, that would mean my original name would be Timothy.
Oh my God.
Hey, Joseph, quick question. When you and Redbeard, you didn't think I knew who you actually got that from. You wasn't going to snitch, which I guess that's good for street code. When you and Redbeard decided to put out the information in Jolly Good Ginger's DD 214, did you know that you violated the Privacy Act of 1974?
No, they didn't. That again, I know y'all love to say that, but here's my question. Anybody else subsequently duetting, stitching, commenting on, did you know that if you're going to apply that rule to the original poster, you also fall under that? Did you know that, Timmy? maybe Timmy didn't realize that everybody else who shares it is also guilty. How'd that work out for you? Now, Timmy, let me ask you a question, Timmy. If that be the case, Timmy, have you prepped your jail cell yet?
Yeah. See, this is the thing that they misconstrue, though, is that, yes, there is the Privacy Act of 1974 that protects individuals from their records being just thrown about because they're federal records. But there is a little law called the Freedom of Information Act that allows people to get federal records through a request.
Sure is.
But Timmy, continue, Timmy.
Yeah.
Signed by Ford. Oh, a Republican. Oh.
What does that even matter? Like, who cares? Get to your point. I know you think you got a gotcha moment that the Republican signed. You know what else? Here's something for you, Timmy. You remember when 9/11 happened? There was another Republican in office. What was that name? What was his name? Some kind of
George
Shrubbery. Bush. Yeah. You know, the
Mhm.
Patriot Act. Oh, yeah, that. We hated that scumbag for that, too. So
The
just
war
because
criminal.
a Republican signed something doesn't mean we like it, you idiot.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Which we've called Bush a war criminal multiple times on this podcast.
These
Oh,
people,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
These people.
Let me get back to that. Did you know that that was against the law? See, you wanted to act like I'm not the one that did it. You're right. You didn't. You just helped it along.
How? Please say how.
Yeah.
I mean, you said he helped it along. I would really love to know how.
This really comes down to the question of who actually has the physical document and how
In
it was
hand.
uploaded to TikTok.
you.
That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
Older millennial doesn't have access to the original document. He claims that he got it from a screenshot from another video that he cannot find anymore.
Mhm.
Somebody has that information, and more than likely, in my opinion, it was probably one of his family members.
Yep.
This is how easy this can be to solve. Hear me out. And I know this is going to be difficult for Timmy. Jolly has to do only two things. First, he goes to the archives and say, hey, illegally attained. I didn't tell it. Please tell me who it is. First portion done. Once you have your court case that someone has done that to you, they can now go into what we call, what's that one word? Discovery. And you know who they can subpoena records from? TikTok. And you know who TikTok can trace all of their uploads to, and when and which was first? They can get all that info for you. You don't have to do anything. In fact, your first video could have easily been showing all that information and letting everybody know exactly who did what first. You know why you can't do it and not doing it? Because you were first. Jolly, you were the one that did it. You may not have done it on your own with your own profile, but you were the one that gave permission for this to be released.
And here's how I think, good point, Marlon. Here's how I think it played out. Somebody called Jolly out for his service, and his ego took over. And like a veteran with all this ego, he had to prove that he was in the military. So he took a little screenshot, the bottom portion of his DD-214, took it, somebody saw it, they screenshotted it and kept it.
Because the internet is forever.
Internet's forever. That's exactly how it happened.
I made up a new rule for Koi's rules of the internet earlier today. It's assume that every camera and every phone is always on and capturing everything. So if you put something on a live, assume somebody's recording it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
It did look kind of like it was moving like this a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
In the screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Judging that Jolly might have some diabetic tendencies, I can see him not having his insulin shot in the time he starts to shake.
To simplify the rule, the internet is forever. Assume everything's recording.
Everything's recorded.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt.
Come on, Timmy. Nice
You know,
smile.
that's also a violation of the Privacy Act of 1974. No, everybody can't just go and get somebody's DD-214. Ford
No one
made
said
sure
that.
of that. Speaking of which, yeah, you told everybody about those DUIs. Which,
Yes.
Hence the reason DUI millennial. But did you tell them that you also like to speed and drive on a suspended or revoked driver's license?
Hey, Timmy. Hey, Timmy. Since you want to go into what people do, let me ask a question of people who may know. Did you know that this guy, this guy right here, Timmy, did you know Timmy proclaims to be pro-black and is married to a white woman?
Wait,
did you
somebody?
know?
That's a no-no in the
Oh,
leftist
big no-no.
circles. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
Hey, not you. What?
Somebody married him?
No, wait. I was just about to say. And did you know this white woman looks a lot like a white man? Timmy's gay. Timmy married a man to look like a woman. That's what he did. It was a white man that he married. Everybody knows this. See how easy I could say stuff too, Timmy?
Yep.
Okay, I can do just like you. You married a white male looking a lot like Mr. Ed. Like a former meth addict had sex with Mr. Ed and made your wife.
Yeah.
That is the only way that y'all could meld because you look just the same. She looks like she has mental issues and you have mental issues.
And Marlon,
wow,
what does DUI, speeding, driving on a suspended license have to do with anything? Because I guarantee if you pulled up Jolly Ginger's record, he'd probably have some stuff on there.
Yeah, I would assume wife beating.
I guarantee a lot of people in their little circle probably has a DUI. For me, that's not a flex. I'm not saying a lot of people get DUIs in America, but there are a lot of people that get DUIs or got in trouble with the law. There are a lot that are on TikTok. So you throwing out his criminal record isn't a flex.
Nope.
People are like, hey, yeah, it is what it is. He did his time.
I'm gonna air some dirty laundry of a particular base in 29 Palms, California, which is a Marine Corps base. There used to be a sign that had the number of DUIs this month on it. And instead of being ashamed by it, most people saw that as a point of pride because Marines are stupid and they find pride in stupid things. And so they had to take it down eventually because it kept getting too high.
Yeah, it's just when people do stuff like that and they try to treat it like a gotcha moment. So you go in, you find public information that's all over the interweb that you can easily search for through Truth Finder. You find out that somebody has a record, and then you talk about it as if the person didn't already pay all their fines and everything they did to get rid of, to clear themselves from that. It makes no sense. That wasn't a flex.
None.
No. So I'd like to impose a little educational moment for the chat and everybody here. What little Timmy just did was issue a red herring. It is a logical fallacy that is basically him giving a clue or a piece of information that is or is intended to be misleading or distracting. So in terms of older millennials, DUI, speeding tickets or whatever, he's trying to take away the attention of the fact that Jolly probably dropped his own DDT.
It's what you would call a pattern of behavior in the courts, is that he's trying to connect his criminality to the issue that we're talking about now, which is saying that he illegally obtained a copy of his DD 214. He has shown a pattern of illegal behavior before. That's the argument he's making.
He wasn't drunk when he did it. Now, mind you, the same person that wants you to think he's a logical thinker, the same dude, Timmy boy, wants you to think that he's logical and he has all his faculties in order to think logically. This is what he wants you to believe. He also has a, as Coy would put it, pattern of behavior, of psychotic behavior. So if you believe anything Tommy Boy says, Timmy says, you must share the same mental faculties that he does, which is zero. Here we go. This is him on his own live.
I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm gonna vote for Trump. My life's a dumpster fire, but I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm never gonna get out of this debt because I'm gonna vote for Trump.
No.
Wait, are you assuming that the Democrats are going to get you out of debt?
I told you he's mental. I told you he was mental. Okay. Now people listen to me. Okay. Being silly is fun. Being silly is fun. It's okay to be silly. It's okay to be silly. But if you're going to be silly and then tell people being silly proves that you're a fascist, you have no room left anymore to be silly.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're also going to tell me that doing something like voting for Trump, it makes you automatically a fascist, and you're telling me that to my face, and I'm a vet, but then you turn around and say a call to all vets, but then turn around and tell me that I'm no longer seen as a vet because of who I'm voting for, then we have to try and figure out whether or not you think a vet is who a vet is.
Yeah.
Am I a vet or am I not a vet? And if I'm not a vet, what quantifies me about my service or my now allegiance to what party?
Yeah.
In his mind, well, if he has one, I don't think Thomas has much of a mind left. Every time I've asked him how his mental health is going, he keeps saying, you make fun of people with mental health? Yeah, especially when they don't get it addressed. Yeah, Tommy. You see, here's the thing. Crazy people are just as entertaining as cartoons. There are some people who don't want to be a cartoon. So you know what they do? They go get psychiatric help.
Sometimes you just, I mean, that's just one of the same thing.
But he wants attention. That's why he uses the so-called "I have mental issues" to make people sympathize for him, and to get the card of, oh my gosh, he's been through so much trauma in his military days. No one cares about your military days, Tommy.
In the hierarchy of victimization, you know, you have to keep one-upping the other person, so you're up higher in the hierarchy. You know, that's how it works on the left.
He got that down.
And for veterans like these people, the veteran commie Avengers, they love using their veteran status to play victim. So, you know, they talk about patriotism, they talk about vet, I did this, I did that, I did that, while shaming and talking bad about other veterans that did the same exact thing. Then when you attack them, they fall back on their veteran status. Oh, I got PTSD. Oh, I got mental. I got this and I got that and the other. You know, they walk around like they're experts at everything veteran. These are the freaking gatekeepers I can't stand. This is their whole identity, is being a veteran. They have nothing else to offer society. If TikTok went away right now, you would never hear from these fools again. They have zero talent. They don't have anything to offer anyone but sitting on their platform, shaming other people for not thinking like them, which is fascism.
So here's my thing. I think it needs to be really addressed with people that it kind of misconstrue, especially civilians on that side. It's not every vet is created equal. I'm going to put that out there. It's going to sound really mean, but it's true. Not every vet is created equal. And regular infantryman is not the same as a Navy SEAL. Just isn't. Isn't. A cook is not the same thing as an infantryman.
Nope.
Right? So there are people that have served in a combat zone who are not combat veterans, who did not serve on the front lines, did not kick any doors in, did not get shot at, none of those things. There are people in supply that have been shot at because they were doing combat trains and they were actually supplying bases and forward operations. You can consider them combat vets because they've been shot at and they've defended themselves from enemy attacks, right? But a cook in the back line who happened to get a rocket over his head once may not typically be considered a combat veteran, even though he probably has a combat action badge because he happened to be, I don't know, 100 or 300 feet away from something that never was going to hit him in the first place, but he still goes around saying he's a combat veteran. He was a cook.
Who was that? Stevie Wonder. Michael, you might know. Stevie Wonder had a song like that, right? Stop bragging about a war that you had never been in.
Yeah.
And the black dude came back. Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem when it comes to, and I'm speaking about these people. I can guarantee the majority of them in that little Commie Avengers group are all soft skill. So when they get out and they call us all combat veterans or veterans, they think that our experiences are the same. Yeah. Yes, we are both vets. Yes. The VA's standard to combat veteran, yes, that's their definition. Yes. Based off their definition. But my experience and your experience are totally freaking different. So, of course, when I look at your experience, I don't consider you a combat vet because you sat on a camp. I consider the guys that were outside the wire doing the hard work, doing the Lord's work, combat vets. It's not the same. But go ahead and cook, man. You know, base it off the VA's definition, and I guess it is what it is.
Here's the other dude.
But we aren't the same.
But the people that these kind of people are, these type of veterans, were probably sitting on a major base in Afghanistan and Iraq, right? And had internet, phones, TV. They had all the amenities they could ever want, and even had, like, what was it, Green Bean, wasn't it? That was the one that was in those bases. They had Green Bean every day. You were not the same as the guys in a fob out there being dirty, hadn't showered for an entire month, or lack of water and food, and you were starving. Okay, you're not the same. You're not the same.
Based.
Just look at their size. Here is, and now the same Union Gang guy was live early today, so I felt my, you know, those intrusive thoughts. They won, and I went into his live.
Buckle up, friends.
Yes, to get some information, and I got exactly what I wanted, and I'll tell you exactly what I wanted after you hear it. You might be able to tell me if I got what I wanted. Okay, listen carefully.
Get in the box. Keep that same energy. Come on down, bro. Shit, I'll chop that shit up with you. Come on down.
Here we go.
Music is so loud.
Get in that box. There you go. Hit it with that shit. Get in the box, Maga. Get in the box, Maga.
We should watch our YouTube on you. It will be fun.
Hey, this shit is funny, bro. This is funny. So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Now, if you scared to get in the box, bro, obviously you're too scared to put the uniform on. If you can't even get in the fucking box and talk with me, a combat vet, then clearly you were too scared to put the uniform on, right? So we shouldn't even be having this conversation about my D214 because you're failing to get some of the basic shit out the way.
Now, can you all tell me if I got what I was looking for? What was I looking for?
Sorry.
I was looking for one very important thing. The brag.
Yeah.
You see, they say they don't want to be revered like that.
Yeah.
And the instant I say, we're making a video, YouTube about you, instantaneously, you couldn't put on the uniform. I'm a combat vet.
Get in the box.
Get in the box.
Yeah. You know one thing about people like that, and they're not the only ones. There's thousands and thousands of them. They're the loudest. The ones that's done the least throw that combat vet term out as a badge of honor. The ones that done stuff usually don't say it. We are considered what you consider quiet professionals. We know what we did. We don't boast about what we did. Do we show ourselves in uniform every once in a while? Yeah, we all do. You know, Veterans Day, we do that. But their whole identity, again, is being a combat vet. I'm one. You won't see anything on my TikTok talking about I did this and that, and I did, and I fought, and I killed, and I don't do that. On my bio on TikTok, it just says veteran. There's no combat veteran on here because I don't need to talk about that.
Period.
Well, it's like you're trying to act as though you're a functioning member of the military, but you're really not.
No, let it go.
Why? It's also like people are bragging about working 40 hours a week and paying their bills as somehow that's a flex. No, you're just a functioning adult.
Yeah.
Like I think it's okay to respect people for their service because a lot of people can't make it into the service in the first place. I know people say that if you have no other choice in life, go into the military. It's not as easy as you think to get into those places. It really isn't. It's a process and it takes time, right? So like I can respect you for doing that stuff, but then to claim.
Go ahead.
Sorry, good. I was going to say, but then to claim something that you're not is ridiculous, or to make it your entire personality, dude. Like that screams help to me.
Yeah,
is when you make something your entire personality in such a way that that's your only thing. But this is how they operate in the identity politics of the left. You have to be in a category. You have to be in a box somewhere. You have to pick your box.
Your whole life is black. Your whole life is white. Your whole life is this. Your whole life is that. No, that's not how it works. Now, y'all remember the spammer from earlier on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he has a face, not a memorable one, but he has a face. He kind of has a brain, not a very perfected one, like an undeveloped. Let's just put it. It's before you get to the smooth brain. He's before that in the length. Like no synapses have really fired. It's there,
like a koala.
Yeah, it's there. But I want you guys to see him. No, not that way.
Not you.
There he is.
Okay.
There he is. This was the guy that was in the comment section spamming. Ron Perlman's illegitimate son. You know who I'm talking about.
He does look like Ron Perlman.
Now that you said it, I can't unsee that. Yeah, that's good, man.
He does.
This is Ron Perlman's illegitimate son, who he did not want. Had him with a stripper on Colfax Avenue.
Oh, gosh.
So here he is, and this is his take on shootings.
So your solutions to gun violence is more guns. You want to actively bring firearms into schools. Is this something teachers even want to do? Do you really want to add that extra responsibility?
Yes, it is what teachers want to do.
Yeah, there have those, but it's
yes.
This is a conversation we've had multiple times before. Is that up until a certain point in the United States, kids used to take guns to school because they were going to go hunting afterwards, and nothing ever happened. It wasn't until Columbine that the school shootings started to really take off. Up until the 1990s. School shootings were barely a thing.
Well, they removed teaching shooting from schools in mid 90s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when was Columbine? 98?
99. Yeah, it was 99. So like I said, it's like this culture of gun violence is a relatively new phenomenon in the last 30 years. Like up until that point, the U.S. didn't have that problem. We also had a cohesive culture up until that point, and we don't have one now.
Right, right. And no. So to wrap things up, y'all might think this was a roast fest, and yes, it was.
Famous Friday.
However, here's the more important lesson. Well, there are two. Don't let the savage patriots ever get a hold of you for content. It's over. It's a wrap. We'll make sure it's bad for you, but it's good for us. Second, and a caveat B to that one is don't send your little boyfriends into the comment section thinking you can control the narrative or stop us. Small time insults don't do anything, especially when we have the power to just silence you. And you can't go back later and take down anything we've done. It's on there forever. So think twice before you do that. Secondarily, this was done for two reasons outside of those reasons I mentioned. The growing thing here is to demonize people on the right, especially those who have been in military. Ironically, the people who are in military and have been in the military that are on the right never use their times of service to identify themselves. They never do. But the people on the left who somehow, after being in the military, come out of the military and denouncing everything they said they fought for in the same military while still taking money from the people that they say are against them. Here's my thing. If you hate the government that bad, you hate the country that much, reject the check. Go ahead. I dare Jolly Ginger. I dare the mental midget Tommy Boy. I dare Union Gang Idiot. And I dare all the foolish people that follow them. If you are a vet and you hate America so much, reject your check. They're cutting it from a place of absolute abhorrent behavior. Reject the check. You know why you won't? Because for all that talk, you still use the same money, that dirty money that you don't like, you still use it to do all the disgusting things you do in your life. All the freedoms you have that you want everybody else to not have, you still use that same money for that. You don't care. There's nothing you stand on principally, nothing. You don't believe any of the stuff you say. You're looking for a whole lot of cash. You denounce capitalism while using a phone built from capitalism on a platform banking on capitalism to get money from people who use capitalism to get you money. That's how of a shill you are.
You know how I know that these people are full of crap when it comes to service is the fact that they're not calling out that the administration has put Tulsi Gabbard on a watch list they called Clear Skies, and they've been sending marshals to trail her every time she gets on a plane.
That's crazy to me.
Military.
She's still serving in the National Guard in Hawaii, by the way. She's a lieutenant colonel.
You know, this is what the military has come down to. And this is one of the reasons I retired, because I saw the military turning into this left-wing progressive horrible institution, you know, because I started, you know, back in the 90s and I went all the way until, you know, the 2016. And you just started to see this shift. And you're seeing it in society because a lot of times the military will start to mirror society. So what these guys are talking about and all this progressive veterans of America, this group that they're part of, you're seeing it in America, or you're seeing it in the military. All this politics and progressive crap is happening in the military. When I was in, we didn't care who you voted for. We never even really, we talked about it in shop, but outside of that, we didn't care because when it came down to it, we were all in the same fight. These people are trying to drive a wedge between veterans. The same veterans that stood side by side in uniform, left and right, we didn't care. Now they're trying to drive a wedge in between it because why? This is the progressive commie way. They need their fighters. So they got to drive that wedge and separate us. And anybody that falls for it, just go to that side, go with all those losers, and the rest of us will stay over here because we're free, rugged, defiant Americans. And whatever you're talking about is not going to happen. I promise you that. So keep going. You're going to lose.
One thing I always think about is that most veterans, at least when they get out, that I know, are very anti-establishment people. Like even if they have lefty politics or whatever, they're still anti-establishment. There's been a lot of that, but I don't know why these guys work for the establishment. That's the thing that I don't get.
Money. They're not doing it because it's something they feel in their core, their core values. They're doing it for clout and money. That's it. all this veteran, I'm a vet, and look at me wear my PC with my rank on it, and this is a flex. I used to be a staff sergeant. No one cares.
Right.
No one cares. At the end of the day, you're just another veteran, just like the rest of us. You're not some freaking expert on foreign relations and expert in military stuff. You're not an expert in it. You're just someone who could read a book like the rest of us, and you get on your platform and you spew all this garbage out as if you're some freaking expert. You're not. You're a fart in the wind, and one day you're going to be forgotten about. You're just going to be another veteran sitting on their porch in their rocking chair. Remember that.
Hopefully sooner than later. Again, everything I've said, I stand on. And if you want to have a screen recording and put on TikTok, I welcome it. Thank you for the publicity, especially the part about Timmy boy. I will repeat that proudly on any platform I go on. You're a mental midget. You have mental issues and you need to get them addressed before one day you end up snapping and doing something dangerous to people. You are a threat to society and you should be put away. All of you. Jolly has already shown his violent side by going after people and screaming at them. And one day, I hope this for Jolly. This is what I hope happens to Jolly. I hope he screams in the wrong face and somebody cocks back and clocks him square in that grill of his and hopefully knocks him so far into his own behind that he gets some intelligence. And I hope it happens on camera so we can put it on loop as we see that fist connect to his face and break all the dentures out of his face. I hope that happens to you sooner than later, Jolly. I hope you don't come to your senses before it does. I hope that somebody finds you, that you get up into somebody's face that you ain't supposed to, breathe all that gingivitis on them, and they just rail back and let you have a few pop, and put you out of your misery. I hope they do that.
Slow. I got one for you, Marlon. I just thought of a shirt that'd be really good called Ultra Right, you know? Get like the ultra like symbol with like ultra right, just ultra, like that. Ultra right. There you go.
At the end of the day, you know, this will be it for me. And Jay will take us out. Stop making for any veterans. Do what you want at the end of the day. Veteran how you want a veteran. Yeah. But stop making it your whole identity.
Yeah.
There's more out there. There's more stuff that you can create. Everyone has some type of skill. Everyone's good at something. Being a veteran was a job, or being in the military was a job. It's not my identity. So find something to do. Stop making it your whole identity because it's getting old. Because a lot of you fools, these fools, they're looking at you trying to represent the veteran community, and they're looking at you like this is how veterans come out the military. They become commie cucks. That's what they become. No, we don't. The quiet ones are the ones you got to worry about. We're the ones sitting in the corner in the shadows. We're not boasting about our service because we don't need to. We just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
But you're going to poke the bear one day. And when that bear strikes, I feel sorry for you.
Here's my final thoughts on service is that there's a lot of things wrong in the United States. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. There's a lot of things wrong with that, but I still love my country and I wish that it would fix itself. That's my problem. Is that all the things that are happening now is because of a bunch of greedy people that are corrupt and have destroyed the system. The system would work as intended if we didn't have people actively using it to their own advantage. That's really all what it comes down to. These people are actively working for the people that we're trying to fix the problem from.
You're right.
Yep. We will be having Rumble tomorrow, right? We do have a Rumble tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Do we?
3 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you tune in. I do have a topic, and again, it's very much you have to bear with the video that you're gonna see. Okay, all right. So I just want you to know. In any case, make sure you tune into that one. You guys can turn your topics anytime, or you don't have to. It surprised me. That might work too. Just surprise me with a topic.
I don't have anything off the top of my head yet.
I will be doing a guest appearance on the same lady show I did a week ago. So part 2 is tomorrow. So if you all know what that entails, you'll see me there. Possibly Sunday I will have something on Straight Talk, and remember Monday I'm early, and Tuesday I'm early on Straight Talk, and I'll be going over the Deliverance movie on Monday. So tune into that. That was an interesting movie. Not that Deliverance,
not
a
that
new one.
Oh, that's the only thing I can think of when I hear Deliverance, man. It's like
I was gonna say,
not that one, not the Joe Biden Deliverance.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, you're taking Coy back. You're taking Coy back to his roots.
His roots, yeah. This is
I walk outside and I hear banjos. That's how deep south I am. Yeah.
We are talking about the Black Deliverance movie. The Black,
Okay.
yeah.
Not the white one.
Not the white one. Yeah. So make sure you all tune into all those platforms. If you're not there, I don't know what to tell you. Also, share as much as you can. Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on Rumble Saturday.
Peace.
Or.